Now, from Thursday night when we get to see Tom Brady in all his glory or lack thereof, prime time, Sunday night we get to see Aaron Rodgers taking on Josh Allen. And, we get this intersection of quarterback generations, Lamar Jackson versus Tom Brady, Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers. We had gone through a period of years where there were great young quarterbacks and great old quarterbacks. The golden age of quarterbacks, the golden age is ending because the older guys, glue factory time, Myles, to borrow one of your lines. and there is a line now. It's not just Matt Ryan. There is a line building at the glue factory for these older quarterbacks who just need to move on. I think of the moment where Michael Scott closes the door on either Dunder or Mifflin, one of the founders of the company. I mean, it's time to close the door on some of these older quarterbacks, and Aaron Rodgers is next. They've lost 3 in a row to drop to 3-4. First time they have a losing record after 7 weeks since 2006. Not quite as long as Tom Brady, but long enough. Back to the latter stages of the Brett Favre. Is he really all – kind of like what we're going with Tom Brady. Is he really all in? Does he really want to be here? What's really going on with this team? That's how long it's been since the Packers have struggled like this. And for Matt LaFleur, just to show you how great he's been, 13-3, 2019, 13-3, 2020, 13-4, 2021, 3-4. The record this year, I think, just makes what he did his first 3 years even more impressive. You're not going to be 13-3 every year or 13-4 now that there's 17 games. But Myles, and it felt yesterday like it was going to be a romp. It felt like it was going to be an easy win. It just felt like, they had a pick six. And then they had another one that was called back. It was either a fumble recovery for a touchdown or something like that. There was a defensive holding penalty that wiped it off the board. Matt LaFleur was as pissed as I've ever seen him because he just is kind of flatlined and with his personality, which is good. You got to be even keeled. But it just was systematic. With the Bucs, lightning struck early and they just kind of gave up. With the Packers, they built their lead and the Commanders started to chip away and they couldn't stop them. They couldn't stop them, and they didn't give up. There was never a sense they gave up. See, with the Bucs, it feels like they gave up. With the Packers, it feels like they're just not good enough.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good assessment. And, when you see that fourth quarter touchdown that Aaron Rodgers had to Aaron Jones on the left sideline, I mean, that to me showed his trust with that particular guy, right? And it just doesn't look like it's easy like it used to be. I mean, look at how good this play is. But that's the kind of thing that we're used to seeing with Aaron Rodgers because he has the trust built up with the receivers. He's got the trust built up with that particular guy, but the rest of the dudes on the field, he didn't have that trust, it feels like, I mean, Sammy Watkins made a couple of plays, but Sammy Watkins is a veteran, right? And maybe it goes back to the stuff that Tom Brady seems to like when it comes to playing with veteran guys who know how to be out there on the field and get to a certain place and, how you can build that trust up quicker than you can with rookies. But it seems like nothing is coming easy for the Green Bay Packers. And that's the kind of thing that we're used to seeing when we have Aaron Rodgers, when we have Matt LaFleur. I mean, especially with Davante Adams, obviously he's not there. You take away that big element of that offense, and you can see now nothing is easy because there's nowhere the offense flows through. Right? That was the thing about Davante Adams. Even though you have Aaron Rodgers, the offense flows through Davante Adams, and him being on the field makes everything easier for everybody else. They don't have that elite guy as a skill player anymore, and it just makes things more difficult for Aaron Rodgers on every single snap.
It's funny. I'm a bad influence on many people, and my influence is now extended to Coach Dungy, of all people. After 13 years, I've worn him down.
Humble brag.
We were talking about this last night. I don't know. Am I bragging that I've corrupted one of the nicest guys in the history of professional football? Is that a brag?
You are.
Or is that a sad commentary on who I am? But what I was saying last night was Aaron Rodgers, it can be both, I guess. Aaron Rodgers has only himself to blame because they've had this tremendous turnover in the receiver position. They've lost Davante Adams. This all came up because they asked me who's to blame. I said, who's to blame is the front office for not putting a competitive offer on the table late in the 2021 season to get Davante Adams to take it so it never gets to the point where Davante Adams leaves. And you've got all these new receivers, and Aaron Rodgers is checked out for the offseason program, and he doesn't go work out with them on his own time. And you've got all these new guys that are trying to figure out whether or not they can win the trust of Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers being stingy with his opportunities for them to win his trust. It makes no sense. And that's when Coach Dungy had the light go off, and he said, we had a time like this, and I'm paraphrasing, in Indianapolis, where we had big turnover with our receivers. And every weekend, Peyton Manning got in his car and drove to Columbus to throw with Anthony Gonzalez, who was on his way in as a new player. Because remember, they had those weird rules where players at schools that didn't finish their exams yet couldn't be involved in the workouts.
Yes.
And probably what Peyton was doing was a violation of the rules now that I sit here and think about it. But he was getting in his car and physically driving to Columbus so he could work out with one of his new receivers. That's what you do if you are determined to get to the point where, when it's time to play the games, everything is going to be working. That's been the big disconnect, I think, mentally for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's where the ayahuasca didn't do its job. Here he is from yesterday, continuing the ship metaphor for today on whether or not the Packers are easy for him to say, will be able to right the ship.
Goddamn right it does. I'm not worried about this squad. In fact, this might be the best thing for us. This week, nobody's going to give us a chance. Going to Buffalo and Sunday Night Football, the chance to get exposed, shoot, might be the best thing for us.
Yeah, until the final score is 45-3. Was he doing a little Heisenberg there? A little Walter White?
I was going to say, yeah.
You're
full
goddamn
Heisenberg,
right
baby.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes. It's harder to sell. He needs the Heisenberg hat, not the Heisenberg robe. He's still wearing that robe. I don't know. I still don't know what the game is there. I don't know what the message is. It's a robe. It is a robe. Look, that's a robe. Boom. Thank you, Courtney. It's a
cardigan.
Robe.
It's called
Look
a cardigan.
how long it is.
It's a long cardigan.
Hey,
I don't know.
hey, listen,
I don't make the rules.
I spent many a year eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and having a bowl of tomato soup when Mr. Rogers came through his door and he got in his closet for his slippers and his cardigan. I ain't never seen Mr. Rogers in a cardigan like that. That's not a cardigan. All right. And this is just the things we say to ourselves to delude ourselves. Hey, this is great. We suck right now. So let's go play in prime time against the most efficient, dominant machine in football because that'll be good for us. Are you kidding me? And I've done it 2 straight weeks. I'm not going to make it a trifecta. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to pick the Packers when everybody else on Football Night in America picks the Bills. I'm not doing it. Hey, if we're going to walk into this one and the Packers Twitter account's going to be able to show the next day, they all pick the Bills like idiots. Well, what idiot would pick the Packers at this point after what we've seen? And I know anything can happen. I know any given Sunday. I understand. You got the Bills with 2 weeks to get ready, and this is an opportunity, and it occurred to me last night, Myles. This is one of those changing the guard statement games. This is Michael Scott slamming the door in Robert Dunder's face. This is Josh Allen taking over and pushing Aaron Rodgers on a floating sheet of ice out into the great beyond. That's what this is going to be on Sunday night. And maybe I'm completely misreading it. I don't care. I'm not going to be wrong. I'm not putting my faith for the 3rd straight week in the underdog, not on Sunday night, because this is the moment for the Bills to flex their muscles to the entire football world.
Look, the Packers offense right now is broken. And like I said, I mean, it has no elite playmaker, right, that the offense flows through. But the stat to me that tells the biggest story is the fact that the Packers were 0 of 6 on 3rd down. How does a team with Aaron Rodgers and the scheme of Matt LaFleur not have a 3rd down conversion against the Washington Commanders defense? I don't really understand that. How is that possible? What's going on? So yeah, Aaron Rodgers can talk about, oh my gosh, well, this is the best thing for us. And, he's sending a message to his team by being on the podium. And I understand that quarterbacks do it, coaches do it. It's one of those things that happens. But right now, a team can't even convert a third down. And you're going to tell me that they're going to go to Buffalo, where those people are nuts and they're going to be fired up as all get out and they're going to beat the Bills? I don't think so. You know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.